It's gonna be snowing. I'm gonna bring a snow shovel in.
I guess we sit on the right side, don't we? Okay.
Ron, you ready? Greenville City Council will come to order. Call the order.
Ely. Present. Godwin.
Here.
Norris.
Here.
Rogers.
Here.
Schmidt.
Here.
White.
Here.
Brown.
Here. If I get everyone to stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Evening, everyone. City council members, you were emailed out the minutes. They will stand approved unless there's any additions or corrections. All right. Moving on, approval of the current financial report that was emailed out. I'll take a motion to accept or change.
Accept.
Okay. Discussion on accepting the financial report. Call the roll.
Ely. Yes. Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Okay. Approval of the agenda. We do have a need for an executive session. 121.22.1, the consideration, appointment, employment dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, compensation of a public employer official.
Move to approve the agenda as amended.
Moved by Mr. Schmidt to approve the agenda as amended. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Ely. Yes. Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to public hearing. Anyone would like to come up to the podium and speak? Now is your time.
Kathy Beam, 1024 Wayne Avenue, Greenville. I'm coming here again because it's that time of the year when we begin to recognize our Back the Blue. And for those that weren't here the last time, in 1962, President Kennedy proclaimed May 15th as National Peace Officers Memorial Day and the calendar week in which that fell as National Police Week. It was established by a joint resolution of Congress in 1962. National Police Week pays special recognition to those law enforcement officers who have lost their lives in the line of duty for safety and protection of others. We're coming up on next Saturday, the 18th, at Dark County Fairgrounds in the Coliseum for our third annual Back the Blue Memorial Ceremony. It was held last year. We had over 100 people. We were really excited about our event. We had so many police officers from around our area, Indiana, Illinois. They came as far as Pennsylvania. So we had it very well attended, and they came around to memorialize our officers and to pay tribute to those officers and canines that were killed in the line of duty. Our committee is myself and my husband, Rick, Mike Dickman, who's Greenville Detective Dickman with Greenville PD, Jackie Messenger, Fred Schuff, and Greg Zecker. And we work tirelessly all year long to raise funds to bring on this event and to bring people from around the country to help us celebrate our police officers and our Back the Blue. We raise funds through sponsorships with the businesses in our community. We have partnered with BW3s. We have an event once a month that many people have attended throughout the year, so we appreciate what they do. We also appreciate the community funds that Greenville City gave us a couple weeks ago. Greatly, greatly appreciated, because without those funds, we can't put on this event and offer it free to the public. This year, we have Will Dempsey. It's from New Orleans, Louisiana. He's a singer and songwriter that's going to be performing one of his hit songs called Beat You There. It is about the police officers that have went before him. He had a very good friend that had passed away, wrote this song. It became very well known across the country. Shauna Jackman, who's out of Massachusetts, is going to be coming. She also has a song that's called Answer the Call. And it also involves, those police officers that she has been around in her life. Lieutenant Jeremy Allen of the Ohio State Patrol is going to be our Master of Ceremonies. And then we all remember the tragedy a couple years ago of Sierra Burton in Richmond, Indiana, very close to our community, who was killed in the line of duty. We're very honored that her stepmother, Amy Miller, so Richmond police officer, is going to come and speak on her outlook, how it affected her family, and also their community, and also their police force. Clear Creek Township Officer Eric Ney from Clear Creek was shot in the head while responding to a domestic violence call a couple of years ago, and he survives. He is going to be coming and speaking to us on his experiences, as well as his communications center. Her name is Paige Burton. She was one of the dispatchers that was dispatched during that terrible shooting. All in all, we're going to be honoring 131 fallen officers, 25 canines that was killed in the line of duty in 2023 from across the country. We're going to honor all those fallen officers with a display of police vehicles with lights as a solemn moment of silence for all the officers that serve and protect us every day. Again, it'll be next Saturday, the 18th at 6 p.m. In the Dark County Fairgrounds. We would invite you to really come out and we like to say thanks to all of those officers that come. And we have a lot of officers from around our community but farther away. So we're really excited about this year's ceremony. In addition to that, we're also, I just realized that Light Ohio Blue 2024 starts tomorrow. And basically it's each year, Light Ohio Blue is they want everyone to put a blue light on their front porch in support of our police officers. So I encourage everyone, if they can do that, to do so. So we hope you join us on the 18th, and I'll take any questions about the event.
Kathy, I don't have any questions, but I'd just like to personally thank you for, I know it's a lot of time you commit to this, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Community.
Thank you. We have a great police force here.
We do.
We have a great leadership team and a lot of good police officers. And I will add, this year's it means a little bit more to Rick and I. We have a grandson-in-law that just came through the Ohio State Patrol and became a Greenville police officer this year. So a little bit more close to home for us this year. So
Great.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else?
Evenings.
Hi, Greg Dolan, Dark County Visitors Bureau. Just want to give you some updates on the Visitors Bureau. Today is actually National Tourism Day, so I thought I'd give you some numbers. These are from 2021 economic impact study done by Tourism Ohio. These are Darke County numbers. 2021 Darke County tourism generated $53.4 million in visitor spending. Tourism generated $4.9 million in state and local taxes. There were 720,000 registered visits. And tourism in Darke County helped support 1,134 tourism-supported jobs. And those are 2021 numbers. We expect new numbers to come out this summer, so we can update those numbers. Along with that, so the Darke County Visitors Bureau will be attending Ohio Tourism Day on the State House lawn on May 21st. And going with me this year will be Kate Clark from Garrison Museum. She'll be dressed as Annie Oakley. We also were featured on ohio.org, the state tourism's website. So we have our Annie Oakley Trail that we kind of put together. It's 9 stops in the county, Annie Oakley related, and we are giving out flat Annies this year. So we're encouraging people to grab a flat Annie and flat Annie with Dave, take them around to the various stops, take some selfies with them, just a way to promote the trail and get some social media engagement. Annie Oakley Festival was also listed in Ohio Magazine's 102 Days and Nights of Summer issue. And among the projects we're working on right now, we're working to upgrade our events calendar on our website. So hopefully in the next month or so, there'll be some upgrades to that, and that'll help people be able to better find our events. And finally, so with the solar eclipse, Visitors Bureau purchased 1,000 eclipse glasses. We didn't want to sell them, so we wanted to find something, some way to give away and have a tie-in. So we did a food drive, and we raised about 814 pounds of non-perishable items that went to the Fish Choice Food Pantry, and about $230 in donations. So, any questions that you have for me? Anything I can answer for you?
We're good. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Greg.
Thanks.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Okay, I just have a couple things. I attended the alumni thing at the high school for alumni from Greenville schools, and we had well over 100 people there because I helped Mr. Brown with that. And so it was a good turnout, and there was some people that had never been there before. So I just want to personally thank Mr. Brown for all he does for this community when it comes to that event. He does this year after year after year and stores all this stuff. So, you know, when you see him, just tell him thank you for what he does for the school. Then I just found out at the park board meeting, the Special Olympics is going to be this Friday. And I was involved with it when I was at Dayton Public Schools, and you just don't hear much about it anymore. So I'm going to go down there and support them if the weather's good on Friday. And they said if it's not, it'll be on Monday. So I encourage other people, if you're watching this or if you're going to be free, go down there and support those people, because they get so excited when people are there to encourage them on. My niece was involved in that, so I have a special love for that event. Now for a couple of things. You have been talking about the ordinance police or whoever you're going to hire or have hired for that. And I would like to know are you going to post like in the early bird or the advocate or whatever, like does the person get a warning or 2 warnings, or how does this going to work? Because several people have asked me and I said, I don't know. And so when this all starts to develop, will there be a criteria to how this is going to unfold? So I'm not worried for myself, but other people have seen other places around and they wanted to know, well, what did they do? Did they come up here? I said, go to the council meeting and say something. So I'd like to know how you're going to handle that. And then tonight, when I came up for the park board meeting, and then I was also down at the school today, and I noticed those wooden boxes that you have books in, and if you noticed out here, I stuck a paper in that door because those boxes are falling apart. The one at the school, the back is coming off. And who makes those boxes or who repairs those boxes? The one right outside here, the door won't even stay shut. So I stuck a magazine in there because if that flies open, somebody donated a lot of Dolly Parton books for children. If that flies open, those will get ruined from the rain. So who do I contact or who does the contacting that we can get these boxes repaired? Because they are starting to look a little tacky. So as for that, that's all I've got today, but you can tell me who to call, or if you want to call somebody.
Ryan, you want to answer both of those?
Yeah, excuse me. So in the first one, the code enforcement, there'll be letters sent out, and then the code enforcement inspector will be knocking on doors, and our number one goal is voluntary compliance. So we'll go that route first. If that route doesn't work, then we'll go the court route.
Okay.
On the boxes, those were donated by a high school student about 5 or 6 years ago. She built them as part of a project, and then donated them, and she went around and secured all the spots. So like the one here in front of the city building is our responsibility, and then the one at the school is the school's responsibility, is how those were handled.
Okay, so I need to contact somebody with the school.
Each box is whatever property that's on is that.
It's too bad that the school can't get their woodworking people in on this and get these, because it wouldn't take much. The one down at the school, the whole back's coming off. And so water's going to get in that way. So I should contact somebody at the school then, the superintendent or whomever.
Do that, or I can if you.
Yeah,
up to
please
you.
do.
Absolutely.
Because it would be nice if the people from the school, the children from the school could get out there and repair all of them around. I don't know how many there is, but you'd hate to see all those books get ruined because the door doesn't stay shut. So.
And then Ryan, the one here, we got the street department.
Yep.
Look at it.
Absolutely.
Okay, very good.
Jana, before you sit down, can you tell me where, you said go down there for Special Olympics, where is
Oh,
down
it's at
there?
the Ryan, it's at the Jennings Center? Is that what
Jennings
you said?
Center.
Yeah.
So like Harmon Field, the new track by the high
Okay, the
school.
new track, okay.
Yep.
And that's countywide, so all the county schools and everyone come there if I'm.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought it might be at the high school, but you never know.
It used to be at Harmon Field years ago, but it's going to be the older group first, and then she said elementary comes later.
Yep.
So, but I don't think there's a cost to get in. You just go out there and cheer them on.
Do you know what time do they start? Is it all?
I don't know. Usually it's around 9. So it'll be fairly early in the morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because most of them get on the
All
bus.
right, anyone else would like to come speak?
I would like to see a raise of hands of any of you that would pay a contractor $5,250, and his estimate was $4,242 when there's no changes and no surprises. How many of you would pay a contractor $5,200 and the estimate that the person give you was $2,400 with no changes and no surprises? Any of you? If you do, there's a lot of contractors out there that would love to work for you. Mr. Raymond, who would win that in a court of law, in a lawsuit?
It depends.
Do what?
Said it depends.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said it depends.
It depends.
It does, as do most things.
In September, I specifically visited and talked to Ryan and Dennis about the estimated prices on the sidewalks. Ryan said it would be close to that estimation. Obviously, he didn't give an answer, nor I would either, but he said it would be close. I tried to pinpoint him about what his definition was of close. Obviously, he didn't give a specific answer, as of I probably wouldn't either. But we talked about 10 to 20% is what was brought up. And that probably would be an acceptable as a contractor. But 125% over the estimated price, no changes, no surprises, that's uncalled for. I was told these numbers. $11.50 a unit per square foot on ADC. $12 a unit square foot, choice one. $126 square yard ADC, $110 square yard choice one. Those numbers don't jive up. What's going on? 125% over? Is that close?
Can I ask you a quick question? So
Sure.
this is pertaining to a sidewalk or
Yes.
an approach?
A customer of mine, yes. Sidewalks.
Okay, okay.
Yep. Another black eye to the city. That's embarrassing. What can be done? What can be done about it? Any suggestions?
And so for specific instances of that, if they bring in their invoice to meet with Ryan, we've been addressing them on one-off because there have been some invoices that have gone out that have been over what we had planned, and we're working with people when that happened. And so if they come up now that they've gotten their final invoice, Ryan will work with them so that we can get them a resolution.
Well, that's a good answer. And I appreciate that. But these are professionals, and they're giving these prices, these estimations. Unbelievable. Where's our trust? How do you expect to receive trust? You earn it. And I don't see trust here. I don't see trust between the people of Greenville and the city of Greenville when things like this happen.
Well, I think, and Mr. Reamons just commented, I mean, have that citizen bring that invoice up and we'll look at it and make it right. So I think that's the trust. If, you know, I always say and there's a service issue somewhere, is how you shine is how you fix that problem. So I think Ryan's door is wide open, very approachable, and we'll take a common sense look at this and try to make it right. Is that a good way to put it?
That's correct.
Yeah. But saying that this, like this, I mean, look, mistakes happen. If there's something got billed wrong or a calculation, but to say this is giving the city a black eye when our doors open to come in and make it right. So I don't see how that's giving the city a black eye.
Well, that's an opinion, and I appreciate your opinion. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, we will move on to administration reports. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. A few things. On Wednesday, May the 15th, the Greenville National Junior ROTC is going to have an event in the gym starting at 6 o'clock, recognizing and deserving cadets with many significant awards that are going to be presented. These are hard-earned promotions, and multiple ribbons will be distributed, and that'll be followed by an event in the cafeteria following that. Second of all, I want to talk about the Greenville FFA chapter. Had a very nice banquet on the 25th of April. Numerous participants in the FFA received awards. This was 94 years of that chapter, and that's quite significant, I think. And the attendance was great, and the speakers were acknowledging all the accomplishments, and the 2024-25 officers were installed there too. I also want to mention a tree planting, since Kathy and Rick Beam were here. There was a tree planting on April the 26th in honor of Keith Smith, who's had many friends in this community, and Keith was on city council and served on the Dark County Fair Board. A white oak tree was planted in his memory, and it was a widely attended event, and I want to thank you guys for doing that. I enjoyed it, and to hear all the reminiscing of their friend Keith, that was quite touching ceremony. I also want to mention we received another commendation from our state representative Angie King, commemorating our placing in the top 10 micropolitan cities in the United States. We were tied for 7th place in Site Selection magazine in the United States with Shelby, North Carolina, and Tupelo, Mississippi. That just underscores the efforts of those area residents that are contributing greatly to the entrepreneurship and attracting economic investment in this community. And I want to take my hat off to all those people that are investing in our community. With that, I pass.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Safety Service Director, Mr. Delk.
Thank you, Mr. President. Some updates for this evening. First, 502 project. Greenville Construction's out today, painting to straighten up all the lines, and then they're going to start tomorrow with saw cutting and then digging out the gravel and concrete areas that'll be paved. And then they have the pavers tentatively scheduled for next Tuesday to come in and pave all the trenches and everything to get that area cleaned up, which is much needed. I talked to him here this evening, and he said if they could move and get finished by Friday, they were going to try to move them up to Monday for the pavement portion. But as soon as we get that accomplished, then that project is complete, and we're moving on to the next one.
I assume that goes all the way around the corner there on the Chestnut, like.
Yep, the patches on Chestnut.
That giant.
Yep,
Can they check on some of the grass that they planted?
absolutely.
I've had some people complain to me about grass that's not growing or it's mud and.
Yep.
silt.
I will.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next is Yolo Park restrooms, if you've driven by there. So we have the foundations in, the first poured, the foundations in. Right now, we're working on all the mechanicals, getting all the splash pad equipment that was housed outside will now be in like a utility, a mechanical room in the center of the restrooms. So we have to get all that stuff moved in, and then our plumbers are due here the first of next week. The plan, as long as weather permits, have them finished up by next Thursday. We're going to pour the floors, and then the block layer and the brick layer is going to come over the weekend and start laying block, so we can really start to get that project. Once we get past this point, the block will go up quickly and the roof system will go on pretty quickly, and we're going to be close, but we're going to push through and see if we can't make first of summer to get this thing open and operational. Next, so the mayor and I last Wednesday had the pleasure of presenting Aaron Keys, who is a dispatcher at the police department, ECO, and Heather Jones with certificates of appreciation. We tried to get it to work out for them to come to a council meeting to do the presentation, but every time we'd schedule it, the weather turned bad and they were much needed in their positions. So Aaron Keys was on duty the night of the tornadoes and set off the tornado sirens for the city, the entire county. We manage most of the tornado sirens in the entire county as far as setting them off goes. So she did just a fantastic job of just automatically, as soon as the siren went off, hitting it again to try to get everyone to safety. So we recognize her for that. And then Heather Jones is, I call her my tornado siren guru. She works very hard at getting all the agreements in place with all the counties. Like we do Eldora, New Weston, Pittsburgh, Arcanum, Versailles, any tornado siren in the county. We have a contract with them and set off for them. But she does a lot of work on the back end as far as getting people involved, elected officials involved. In these smaller communities, it's not always as easy to have the sirens repaired and checked and tested. So when we do the test, she's constantly sending emails like, hey, did your siren come on today? If not, we have a company we call to fix them. You need to get this fixed. And so she also received a certificate of recognition. So I want to applaud both of them on their hard work they do for us as ECOs. They definitely both go above and beyond. Also, last Wednesday was Lieutenant Flannery's last day. He retired. I don't know if any of you got to go wish him well, but we wish him well. He was a great officer for many, many years and well respected over there, and taught a lot of the younger generation, the way of the ropes. And he is going to be like moving to Florida next month and just enjoying retirement. So we all kind of envy him a little bit, I think. But wish Lieutenant Flannery well. Code enforcement position, so we have someone hired, Chad Baltus. He is going to start the 13th of May. So we're working through getting him onboarded, and we'll start that process. We'll be first and foremost learning the code and what is legal or not, what is not, and working with our assistant law director on how we're going to proceed with court proceedings once we get to that point. And he's a go-getter. He comes from more of a customer service background. I think he'll do great at going out and making contact with residents and trying to get things cleaned up and code issues addressed. Porch pillars, the front porch pillars, the contractor's supposed to start next week on replacing those. The plan at this stage is to do half at a time and try to keep the front door open. We're going to kind of assess it once we get set up, and we might end up having to close the front entrance and put everyone to the back door, but we're going to try to keep the front open. He's expecting it to take him about a week per side, so about a 2-week process on those front porch pillars. And then the PD lift station, I know you all approved many months ago. Finally, all the parts are in, so we're scheduled for May 20th to start that. It's a pretty big process. Basically, there's a large lift station in the basement that was set before the building was built, so now we have to deal with it with a building on top of it. So we have a couple technical companies coming in to recoat that, then install new pumps and controls. So unfortunately, the PD is going to be a week without water, so or restroom facilities. So we're going to work through that. And with that, I will answer any questions, but I will pass.
The code enforcement guy is not a police officer, right? Just
Not a police officer.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Delk. Mr. Law Director, Mr. Riemann.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. We got a long list of legislation for us tonight, and so with that, I'll just answer any questions anyone has on the legislation, but I will pass.
Okay, nothing for you. Okay, thank you. Ms. Sauter, Ms. Davis.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to remind everybody that their financial disclosure is due on May the 15th, so that is fast approaching. I also want to remind everybody on your sunshine law training, I know Jessica sent everyone out a way to log in and do that online. So anybody needs any help or any questions on that, please let us know. And when you complete it, let me know so we can have that on file for our auditors. Also, the audit is going well. It is not completed. They have visited. I know today I was notified that they had sent out some fraud-related questionnaires to the council members. I'm not sure who got one, but if you guys did receive them in your email, please complete them as soon as you possibly can and return them to the auditors, because that's something that they need to complete the audit. The other information that we found out during the audit is due to monies that we have received, that we are going to require a single audit this year again, which just means that they check the grants, they test them a little bit more. So that's going to require additional funding. And so I'm still in the process. I need to check and see how much funding we had set aside in the budget. I know we weren't planning on the single audit, so if extra funding is needed, I will need to bring that back to council at the next council meeting, but I am still checking into that. And along with the audit, we did have another audit, which was our police and fire pension fund. The state came in and audited all of our documents and everything that we do in order to report everyone's information, their wages, and what we withheld to the state, and we passed that A+, so I just wanted to make council aware of that as well. So with that, I'll have any questions.
Okay.
Kim, did that,
Yes.
the email that came out, was that from an independent company?
It would
All
have
that,
been,
mine was flagged in the email, is why I was asking.
okay, I'm not sure. I know Julian and Grube is who is doing that audit. I can certainly check into that. It should have been, I think, it would have come from Julian and Grube, and it would say correspondence at JGINC Biz. So they're sending that for our cash conversion, our Gatsby reporting, our gap reporting. So that's part of that as well, but I believe that's what.
Okay, thank you, because I didn't open it and it was flagged on mine. I'm like, oh, I better ask.
Say the name again?
Julian and Grube. So the initials would be correspondence at jginc.biz.
Okay.
So that's who it would come from.
All right.
And the next one will be a test to make sure you don't click.
Yeah. I know it gets confusing, but so that's why I wanted to let you guys
And
know.
then with the .biz, it's like, nope, and I
Yeah.
came in yesterday afternoon, I think, or this morning, I thought I'll just wait and ask tonight to make sure it's safe.
Yes,
Mine
yes.
come in at 11:40, or 11:24 this morning.
Okay, I wasn't sure, so I just know that they sent me notification. So there's a link on there that you'll need to follow and answer any questions that they're asking you, and I'll go directly back to the auditors.
Okay,
I don't get that back, so just.
thank you.
Thank you.
Kim, can you have that sunshine law training resent? Just-
Yes.
Yep,
Absolutely.
thanks.
Okay, thanks.
Kim, one other question.
Yes.
The income tax report that came out, I guess that falls under you, right?
Yes.
Is there some explanation or understanding of the change from last year to this year?
Yeah, we just have some filings that are not filed yet.
It's a timing issue?
It's a timing issue right now.
No problem, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, moving on.
Thank you.
Under committee reports, we have a finance committee report.
To Greenville City Council, the Finance Committee met to discuss distribution of community funds. It is our recommendation to award $300 to the Junior Ladybug Garden Club and $250 to the Dark County Historical Society. Thank you for your consideration. Sincerely, Doug Schmidt, Chairman, Greg White, Vice Chairman, and Leon Rogers, Member.
Make a motion to accept the committee report.
Moved by Mr. Godwin to accept the committee report. Discussion? Call the roll.
Yes. Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
And I believe you had legislation. So we have legislation prepared for that, so we will be adding under number 12, resolution authorizing financial assistance in support of community-based events.
Move to approve the agenda as amended?
Moved by Mr. Schmidt to approve the agenda as amended. Discussion? Call the roll.
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
All right, moving on to our 12 ordinances resolutions. First one is a supplemental ordinance.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024. The supplemental ordinance allows for appropriations in the general and CIP fund.
All right, everyone.
Home basement.
So we want to make a motion to pause the meeting, to recess?
Is, what's the, fire chief, what's the weather look like? Okay.
Okay.
Make a motion.
We can call a roll or just,
I'll say.
We're adjourning to the basement, right?